Wherever you are deciding, starting to just settle into your seat, maybe allowing the eyes to close if that feels comfortable and safe today. If it doesn't, that's completely fine. You could just take a soft gaze out in front. And just taking a moment to arrive here, and to separate from all that has come before during the day and not yet leap ahead to all that's coming right after practice. But just seeing if we can hold this space together for a little while. And starting by checking in with the physical body, just starting to become aware of the surface below you, maybe anything behind you, the air on your skin, starting to feel the spine stacking tall over the pelvis. A little reach through the crown of the head, subtle tuck of the chin, so the back of the body is long and awake, but without any strain. Just starting to take an inventory of the physical body. Are there areas that already feel light and open? Maybe there are areas that feel a little more close, or maybe perhaps a bit restricted. Just moving through with a kind eye, not trying to judge anything that you find, but just noticing what's going on in your body today. Maybe now taking a moment to identify areas of the body in which you might be holding tension that you could let go of. Maybe between the eyebrows, around the cheeks or the jaw, the neck or the shoulders, perhaps the belly, even the hands and the feet. It seems you can send a couple extra breaths to the places that need it the most. And bringing your attention to your emotional body, your mood this afternoon. I'm moving especially gently today, given all that occurred last week. There's a lot of tenderness that's still present, to just honoring that, knowing that whatever's coming up for you is valid. And again, trying not to label or judge what you find, but just noticing what's there. Drawing your attention to the pattern of the mind, noticing the speed and the rhythm of your thoughts. Maybe the mind still feels quite busy from the day, or maybe it's a little softer, slower, maybe even a little tired. See if you can track the thoughts as they enter, and then gently allow them to go on their way. Gently starting to come into awareness of your breath, noticing the rhythm, the depth, the cadence, maybe the temperature. Noticing whether the breath feels smooth and round, or maybe a little choppy or quick. Starting to trace the path of the breath within the body. Where does it want to go to first? Where does it seem easy to send it? Where does it have a little harder time traveling? Noticing if you can feel the breath expand the torso in all four directions. Forward through the chest and the belly, out to the sides, to the ribs and the waist, around to the back part of the ribs, the lower spine. Gently expanding on the inhale, gently contracting on the exhale. Noticing the smooth transition between the inhale and the exhale, and back to the inhale. And as we prepare to sit a little more deeply this afternoon, I'll offer the seed for our practice today, and that is of steady attention and perseverance. As we have seen, the next couple of weeks will likely not be easy. We need to turn to that inner steadiness to keep going, moving forward and showing up in the ways that we want to. We can look to what happened in Georgia as a beacon of what can happen with perseverance, that unprecedented election result, contrasted with the darker events of that day. So we'll come together now, just resting in the breath, watching even as we persist with the breath. And we'll start to direct our attention throughout the body as a way to steady our focus. And then as we carry into the movement portion of the practice, working towards Garudasana, eagle pose, which requires quite a bit of steady attention. Beginning now, focusing back on the breath. As you draw in the inhale, feeling as if you could send the breath into both of your feet. Noticing the sole of the foot, the toes, the top of the foot, the heel. Sending your next breath into the lower portion of the leg. Noticing the calf and the shin and the sides of the lower leg. Bringing the next inhale towards your knees. Noticing the front, the borders of the kneecap, the back portion of the knee where it bends. Bringing the next inhale into the upper leg. Noticing the top of the thigh, the back of the thigh by the hamstring, and around to the side. Bringing the next inhale into the pelvis, the bowl of your hip. Noticing the sitting bones that you're perched upon, the cradle around the abdomen. Bringing the next inhale into the belly itself, nourishing all that's there. And bringing the next breath into the chest, noticing it filling up the rib cage, flowing in and around the sternum. And allowing the next inhale to take the breath across the collarbones, washing over the back of the neck into the upper back and shoulder blades. Taking the next inhale to allow the breath to continue along down the spine to the middle back, resting in the lower back and the sacrum, going down over the back of the hips, and allowing the next inhale to reach your hands all the way out to the thumb and the fingers, noticing the front of the hand and the palm. Allowing the next inhale to carry the breath into the wrists and forearms. Noticing the front of the forearm, the underside of the forearm, around to the elbows. Drawing it up into the upper arm on the next inhale. Noticing the inner border, the outer border. Finally drawing the breath up and around the shoulders. Allowing it to fill through the face, the ears, the back of the head. And one last inhale all the way out to the crown of the head. And taking the next 3 breaths to just come back to your own natural rhythm. Very gently, we'll prepare to move into the movement portion of the practice, carrying the idea of steady, focused attention and perseverance as we move through. And as you're ready, if the eyes were closed, you can gently blink them open. And if you just had a soft gaze, you can lift it, refocus. And as you feel ready, starting to take some shoulder rolls up and back, just coming back to life, back into sensation of the body, just keeping it smooth and sweet. And once the shoulders feel fully satisfied, adding in your elbows to creating a slightly wider circle, leading with the tips of the elbows, out and around for a few more breaths this way. And once that feels pretty sufficient, then inviting your whole arm to participate in the circle. So all the way out through the fingers, as if you could draw tracks in the air with your hands. 2 more full times around, keeping the breath smooth and even as you go. We'll end with the hands folded in front of the chest. And then we'll open the palms like a book, so the palms will face up towards the ceiling. Then on the inhale, starting to spin the pinkies apart, palms stay facing the ceiling as you start to make a little half circle. As you reach over the crown of the head, the hands will match, pressing the forearms up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, hands return back down the center line to your chest. And we'll take that 2 more times. I'll inhale to open the palms, spin the pinkies around, smooth and steady as if you were balancing teacups on your hands. Catch at the top, press the forearms up towards the ceiling. And when your next exhale comes around, returning the hands back to your center. And one more time, we'll stay at the top. I'll inhale to open the palms, spin out and around. This time, as you catch your hands over the top, press the palms into each other and hold right here for a few breaths. You might choose to just stay right here with this shape. If there's a little more space in the shoulders, keeping the bottom ribs connected, seeing if you can push the hands back over towards the wall behind you so that just the arms and the shoulders are moving, so we're fighting the urge to come into a back bend here. One more smooth breath wherever you are. And gently returning to your chest on the exhale. And shaking the arms out. As we're moving towards eagle pose today, we'll practice the arms in this position so we know where we want to go for later. So we'll inhale the arms straight out in front of you, parallel to the floor. And then you'll cross your left arm underneath your right arm, crossing at the level of your elbows. And then on your exhale, you'll bend the elbows and bring the hands towards your shoulders as if you were giving yourself a little hug. Yeah, exactly. You can choose to stay right here. This might be plenty for your shoulders. If you feel a little more space, keeping the elbows as they are, you'll inhale, letting go of the shoulders, bringing the backs of the hands towards each other. They won't be in a perfect alignment because your elbows are stacked. If that feels okay, you stay right here. If you still feel like there's a little more space, you can start to bring the palms towards one another. So it'll look more like your left pinkies or the fingers are reaching the right palm. Yeah, great. Breathing slow and steady here. If you're in the full wrap, or even if you're in half, seeing if you can bring the hands a little bit farther away from the face. And then gently on the exhale, unwind, taking one sweeping circle on the inhale all the way up. And then exhale back to your center. And then we'll take the second side. So inhale the arms parallel to the earth once again. This time we'll cross the right arm underneath the left arm. Again, making that X at the elbows. And then on the exhale, folding, spending a couple moments in that hug position. You can even rock a little bit back and forth if that feels good. And again, your option is to stay right here, or inhaling, lifting the hands off the shoulders and bringing the backs of the palms towards one another, elbows floating away from the floor. Staying here, or now tucking the right palm in front of the left so that the palm sides touch, right fingers on the center of the left palm. If there's more space, maybe the fingers go higher, but that's totally optional. Again, raising the elbows away from the body and tipping the hands away from the body as well. As much space as you can create towards the back of the shoulder. One more breath here. And then gently unwind the arms, and then one last time around on the inhale, swimming the arms out and up, folding the hands together, coming back down the center on the exhale. And then one last piece here, we'll fold the fingers together, and then we'll make our usual wrist figure eights here, drawing with your knuckles. And then once you feel pretty complete, one direction, seeing if you can switch and go the way that feels less familiar. Good. And then shaking that out, and then we'll start to make our way towards hands and knees on the mat. If you chose to sit up on something, you can just gently bring it to the side. Yeah. And taking your time. And as you arrive in this shape, as always, these first 5 to 10 breaths are just for you. You can move in any way that's calling to you. Maybe that looks like some spine waves. Or maybe the hips want to go from side to side, or making spirals or eights. You can play with the feet. Bend one elbow at a time to get into the shoulder blades. Anything that's calling to you that would help you unwind the day. And as we're playing here, I will remind you that I'm just the suggestion box up here. If there's ever anything that I offer that doesn't feel right, you can take any other option that feels better for you, or you can rest at any time. All of those options are totally fine. We'll take 1 or 2 more breaths to play here. And starting to settle into a little bit of stillness in this shape. And then from here, we'll keep the legs as they are. And we'll start to walk the hands forward towards the top of the mat. Maybe the head starts to come towards the mat as well. Maybe forehead touches, and then you can walk yourself up into your tented fingertips. We're coming into puppy pose here. For some of us, there might be more space. Maybe the nose starts to reach the ground, or even the chin. None of that is necessary. You go wherever you go. Breathing smooth and steady into the backs of the shoulders. Hips are staying high, so the legs are more like quadruped than child's pose.
And take 1 or 2 more breaths into the shoulders here. And gently lifting the head on the inhale and walking the hands back underneath you. Coming back into more of our classic tabletop shape here. Having the hands just slightly ahead of the shoulders and the knees right underneath the hips. Yep. And then from here on the inhale, we'll extend the left leg long behind you. Taking a moment to arrive here, pressing the hands into the earth to separate the shoulder blades. Strong reach from the crown of the head out to that left heel. One more breath here. A little something different on the exhale. When your exhale rolls around, you'll bend your left knee, but you'll bring it out to the side of that left arm. So almost as if you were trying to get your left knee towards your left elbow. And then on the inhale, you'll extend it straight long behind you. So we'll do that twice more. Inhale to reach. Exhale to bring it out to the side as if you had sort of a frog leg. Yes, great. And then inhale, long leg. Last time, exhale to bring that left knee to the outside of the arm. And then inhale, long behind you. And you can stay right here, pushing the hands into the mat, or if you'd like to balance, shift your weight a little bit into the left hand so you can bring your right hand towards your heart. Breathing steady wherever you are for one more full breath, pressing that left arm especially into the mat. And then on the exhale, gently allow all the limbs to find the earth. And I'll take that on the second side. So on the inhale, we'll extend the right leg long behind you. We'll again take a moment to arrive on this side, pushing the hands into the mat, turning the right toes down to face the floor, pulling the belly in a little. And then we'll take that frog variation on this side. So we'll inhale to reach that leg long, and then exhale to draw the right knee now towards that right elbow. Yes. Inhale the leg long behind you. Twice more. Inhale to reach. Exhale to pull that knee to the side of the body, trying to get into the outer hip here. Inhale that right leg long. One more time. Inhale to reach. Exhale to pull the knee towards the outside of the arm. And then inhale, leg long behind you. Same options here. You can stay with both hands flat on the floor or shift your weight more into the right hand so that you can bring your left hand towards your heart. Catch the balance. Especially if you're balancing, really press the hand into the floor. One more breath here. And gently allow all your limbs to find the mat once again. On your inhale, we'll stretch the left leg long behind you. And then on the exhale, stepping that left foot to the outside of the left hand. And for today, we're going to walk that left foot pretty wide, and you can even turn your left toes out to the left a little bit. Then once you have your feet, come nice and high up on the fingertips, and then on your inhale, reaching both arms up. So you're coming into a low lunge with that little variation in the front foot. Yes. Great. And from here, reaching those arms back to the floor, looking forward on the inhale, lift the right knee off the mat. So you're coming into runner's lunge, which is that front leg more in like a lizard variation here. Good. And then on the inhale, returning that right knee to the mat, sweeping both arms up to the sky, come back to your low lunge. And we'll do that whole thing twice more. Yeah, great, guys. Reaching up on the inhale, exhaling, hands down, look forward. Inhale that right knee off the mat. Hold for a moment here. Then exhale the right knee down. Inhale both arms back up to the sky, low lunge. Last time, inhale to reach. Exhale to get the hands towards the mat. Look forward. Inhale the right knee off the floor and then hold here for one full breath. Like feeling the outer left hip here. And gently release the right knee to the mat on the exhale. And one last time, sweeping both arms up to the sky, coming back to your low lunge. And then from here, you can keep the feet fairly wide, but we'll turn the left toes to face the front edge of the mat again, so straighten out that front foot. And then on the exhale, lowering the arms parallel to the earth, coming back towards those eagle arms, stopping at any point that you need to. We'll cross the left underneath the right, bring the backs of the forearms towards one another. Maybe the backs of the hands touch, or maybe you go back to that hug position if that's better, that's okay too. Or maybe the last option is that the fronts of the palms touch here. Whatever your option, breathing in on the inhale to stretch the hands up towards the sky. Maybe now on the next inhale, I'd like to take a little bit of a back bend, pressing into that front foot, lifting your eagle arms up towards the sky, coming into a little bend in the spine. Then on the exhale, use the belly to help you, starting to come through center, and then maybe starting to reach forward. If it feels like there's something in the way, you can stop part way, or you can continue on down, elbows starting to come inside that front leg. And on the inhale, pressing into that front foot, rising up, maybe staying in the neutral, or maybe one more time, reaching back, coming into the back bend. And then last time on the exhale to dive any amount. You could stay neutral, you can stay part way, you can come all the way down, tucking that arm, excuse me, on the inside of that left leg. Then the next inhale, lifting back up just to your neutral position, arms come back to center. And then unwind the arms, big inhale up to circle the arms. And then exhale, hands to your heart. And then all the way down to the mat on the inside of that front foot. Getting a good purchase with your hands so that on the inhale, you can sweep your left leg long behind you, just a breath. And then exhale the left knee to the earth. Then we'll take the second side, inhaling the right leg long behind you, and then exhaling to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. To start with, we'll walk the right foot pretty wide and then turn the right toes out a little bit to your right. Once you have the feet, then get settled in the belly. On the inhale, sweeping both arms up to the sky, coming into your low lunge with that front foot in that variation position. Yes, really nice, yeah. Okay, here we go. Inhaling to reach, exhaling to float the hands back to the mat, looking forward, inhaling that left knee now off the earth, coming into that lizard version of the runner's lunge here. Holding just for a breath. And then gently exhale the left knee to the earth. Inhaling both arms up to the sky. Back to your low lunge. We'll do that twice more all the way through. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling to release the hands to the mat. Look forward. Inhale that left knee off the mat, coming into the runner's lunge. Holding here for a breath. Gently allow the left knee to find the earth on the inhale, exhale, and then inhale, both arms up to the sky. And one last time, reaching up on the inhale. Gently replacing the hands to the mat on the exhale. Looking forward. Inhale to lift that left knee off the mat. Hold here for one full breath cycle. Feeling into the outer right hip. Very nice. Then gently exhaling the left knee down. One last time, floating the arms all the way back up to your low lunge. And now we'll center those right toes. So for balance purposes, you can keep the feet fairly wide, but just have their toes facing forward on the right foot. And we'll exhale the hands down parallel towards the earth. This time, right arm goes underneath the left and starting to bring the backs of the palms together here. You could, again, of course, come back into the hug position, or you can start to sneak the palms, the fronts of the palms together. And wherever you are here, taking your first inhale to extend the arms away from the body a little bit. Then we'll press into that right foot. If you'd like, on the inhale, start to reach up and back. Coming into that little bit of a back bend shape. And then use your belly to help you on the exhale, coming through neutral. And then starting to take it forward any amount. Stop wherever you feel you need to. Maybe you're coming close to the earth. And then as you're ready, use your right foot to help you on the inhale. Press that foot into the floor, rising back up, either stopping at neutral or gather the strength in the belly, maybe taking it back, coming into a back bend here, arms reaching over the face. And then gently on the exhale, coming through neutral, and then all the way down as much as you'd like. Beautiful, friends. Staying low for a breath. And then gently stamping into the right foot, coming back up to your neutral hold here. And then releasing the arms, creating one circle, sweeping out and around on the inhale. Holding the hands together at the heart on the exhale. And then continuing down, dropping the hands to the mat on the inside of that front foot. Press the hands into the earth so you can sweep your right leg long behind you, just a breath. And then release the right knee towards the earth as well. Great. From here, walking the hands a little bit ahead of the shoulders, gripping the mat with your fingertip, creating a kickstand with your toes. Inhale to prepare, and then exhale to hover the knees just an inch or two off the earth. Really pressing the hands into the mat, broad through the shoulder blades on the back. Feeling the belly engage here. Holding for one more full cycle of breath. And as you're ready, on the exhale, shifting the hips up towards the sky, coming into your downward facing dog. If you ever would like to not be in your down dog today, you can always come back down to your hands and knees, or you could even take that puppy pose that we took in the beginning. But giving yourselves a few moments to play around with your down dog if you're in it. Walking it out a bit, adjusting hands and feet as you need. Very nice. One or two more breaths here. And then finding some stillness. And in a moment, we'll take our series of roll forward into plank. If, however, that doesn't sound great today, you could always have the option of coming back to your hands and knees like this. And then as we roll forward, instead of coming to full plank, you'll roll forward and come to half plank, stopping here, and then exhaling back to your hands and knees. That's fine too. If you're coming from your down dog, we'll start all together, coming high up on the toes on the inhale, and then using the belly, scoop your way forward, taking the whole inhale as if you were rolling up and over some large object. Stopping when you reach your full plank or your half plank, holding for a full breath. And then on the exhale, either returning to your downward facing dog or to your hands and knees, depending on which version you're doing. We'll take that 2 more times. High up on the toes on the inhale. Flowing your way forward towards your plank or your half plank. Taking the whole inhale to get there. Moving bit by bit. Holding for a full breath when you arrive. And then gently exhaling your way back up. Either down dog or hands and knees. And you'll take one last time. Coming high up on the toes, rippling forward towards your half plank or your full plank. Yes, really nice work, y'all. And then exhaling your way back, either full down dog or hands and knees. Wonderful choices out there, really good work. If you're on your hands and knees and you'd like to return to your down dog, we'll curl the toes under and take your hips back up towards the sky. Then we're going to walk our way towards the top of the mat. So we'll inhale to look forward, bend the knees, and then take a little stroll to the top of the mat. Knees can stay pretty bent when you arrive if you need. And then we'll push into the feet. Sweep the arms out and around towards the sky as you stand, and then exhale, hands to your heart. Yeah, very nice. From here, you'll take a big step back towards the back of the mat with your right foot. So coming into your high lunge legs. So you have your left knee bent in the front, your right leg strong and straight. There comes Cora making her cameo. Hello, friend. As you feel ready, inhaling both arms up to the sky, coming into your full high lunge. And once again, we'll take that left foot a little bit wide so you can shimmy it over almost to the full edge of your mat. We'll keep the toes facing forward. We'll just take a little more space between the feet. And then from here on the exhale, reaching your hands forward, hinging at that left hip, and then bringing the fingertips of both hands to the inside of that left foot. If it feels like there's not enough room, you can take your left foot even wider. So you have a really good amount of clearance here. You could also, of course, take your hands up on blocks. That will give you some more space as well. Either way is fine. Wherever you are, looking forward on the inhale. And then on the exhale, starting to extend through that left knee any amount, looking back towards your back leg. You're in a bit of a modified pyramid position here with the hands on the earth. And then on the inhale, rebending that left knee, looking out towards the front of the mat. I'll take that twice more. Exhaling to extend through the left knee. Any amount, doesn't have to go all the way straight. You're looking back towards your back leg. And then smooth, steady on the inhale, rebending that left knee, looking forward. Still feeling most of the work in the outer left hip here. One last time on the exhale, squeezing the legs together as you start to extend that left knee to any amount, looking back towards your back leg. And then smooth and steady, inhaling to rebend the left knee. Then walking that left foot slightly more towards the center so you can get a really good purchase in your feet. On the next inhale, push into the feet. Sweep the arms back up towards the sky, coming back towards your high lunge. Yes, very nice. So one more time to practice with those eagle bends. So we'll lower the arms parallel towards the earth. We'll take the left arm underneath the right, bringing the backs of the hands together, or the fronts of the hands together, or the hands to the shoulders. Remember, that's always an option too. Bending a little more deeply into the left knee, bringing the hands away from the body. You could choose, of course, to stay right here with this neutral position. This is plenty of work. Or if you like, you can press your left foot into the earth on the inhale, starting to take that elbows back a little bit, coming into a pretty shallow back bend here. If you feel very balanced, you can go farther. That's fine. And then on the exhale, using the belly to return to neutral, and then starting to bow forward any amount, noting that if that back leg is lifted, it may feel quite different. So you could go farther, you can go not as far, whatever is fine. Moving just smooth and steady wherever you go. We'll take that one more time through on the inhale, moving slowly, pushing into the front foot, coming back into your neutral, and then maybe starting to take it back, little back bend, pretty shallow again here. And then gently on the exhale, either coming back to neutral or maybe working a dive, coming towards that inside knee. Holding here for just a moment. And then gently inhaling your way back up to your neutral. And then release the arms, one big arm circle, inhaling out and around. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Hinge forward over that left hip so that you can reach your right foot to the top of the mat. Yes, very nice. Shaking out a little bit, maybe unwinding the legs. Having a moment to reconnect the feet to the earth. And then we'll take the second side.
You're shifting the weight into the right foot. So then on the inhale, you can take a big step back with your left foot towards the back of the mat. And once again, we'll widen the feet here. So taking that right foot pretty close to the edge, if not at the edge of the mat here. And then inhaling both arms up, coming into your full high lunge. And then on the exhale, tipping forward at your right hip, bringing your fingertips down to inside of the right foot. Again, your options here, walking that foot, right foot even wider, can give you a lot more space as we're coming up on blocks. Either way is totally fine. Whenever you feel ready, you'll inhale to look forward. And then exhale to start to straighten that right knee any amount as you look back towards your left. Remembering that the right knee doesn't have to straighten out fully. You go where it feels good for you. And then inhaling to rebend the left knee, looking forward out over the edge of the earth. And then exhaling to scissor the legs together. Straighten that right knee any amount, look back towards the left leg. And one more full round. Inhaling to bend the right knee, look forward. Yes, yeah. Then exhale, starting to scissor the legs, hips come high, right knee straightens any amount. And gently soften the right knee on the inhale, bend forward. And then start to walk that right foot back onto the mat a little bit, just enough so you can get solid purchase in your feet. So that on your inhale, you can sweep both arms up to the sky, coming into your high lunge. Sorry, yes, great. Of course, I didn't mention this on the other side, but of course, always, if things feel too much to be up, you can always put your left knee down. That's of course fine. We'll take those eagle arms here. So we'll start to release the hands parallel to the mat here. And then right arm under left, coming into your preferred hand position here. Taking a moment to decide. Sides might be different. But once you're steady, again, your option is to stay right here. Keep working on bringing the arms away from the body, or pressing to that right foot on the inhale. Start to take the arms back a little bit, coming into a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale, use the power of your belly, come back to neutral, and then maybe start to tip forward any amount, stopping wherever you feel like you want to. Maybe coming down towards the inside of that front leg. And then on the inhale, move slowly. Push into that right foot, coming back to neutral position. One last time. Maybe taking back towards the back bend. Just an option. On the exhale, maybe coming forward into the dive, maybe staying right where you are. Holding steady when you arrive in your spot. And inhaling back towards the center. Yes, yeah, really nice. And then from here, big arm circle to release, sweeping the arms out and around. And then exhaling, folding your hands to your heart. This time leaning forward over that right hip so you can step your left foot to the top of the mat. And this time as we arrive, we'll sweep the arms out and around. And then exhaling, hands to your heart. And then keep going. So start to reach the hands back towards the earth. You can bend your knees as much as you need to really plant the hands on the earth. And then you'll step back either one knee and the other knee to come to hands and knees, or you can step straight back to downward facing dog, one foot at a time. We'll just take one plank ripple. So if the knees are down, you'll ripple forward to your half plank as before. If you're in your down dog, you'll ripple to full plank. So we'll start on the inhale all together. Breathing smooth and steady. And then taking that ripple forward. Head and eyes are the last thing to come out. You're holding for a full breath in either your plank or your half plank. And then gently releasing the hips to the sky for down dog, or coming back to your hands and knees if you're in your half plank.
And then we'll all make our way towards the top of the mat. If you're in your quadruped, you want to come back to down dog, you can do that now. Or you can be creative and come to the top how you'd like. If you're in down dog, on the next inhale, you'll look forward, bend the knees, and take a walk to the top. And we'll meet at the top, sweeping the arms out and around on the inhale. And then exhaling, hands to your heart. Okay. So we're going to move towards our full eagle now. So if you know that you would prefer to have something next to you, you can do that. You can come near a wall, you can come near a chair, preferably a sturdy chair. But if you'd like something, you can position now. And then we'll move together. So we'll do one preparatory business and then we'll kind of get into it. So we'll separate the feet as wide as your hip bones here for this variation. We're gonna do a wide, more of a wide-legged chair to start. Hands stay folded at the chest. You'll inhale the spine long. And then on the exhale, set your hips back, coming into your chair pose legs. Again, how deeply you go is up to you. But keeping the feet wider gives you a little bit more room towards the hip and the pelvis for this first round. Just breathing in here, feeling the roots of the legs, feeling your steady attention, your inner perseverance and strength here. One more full breath. These look great. And then we'll push into the feet to fully stand. Maybe you'd like to take a little spine bend. And then coming back to neutral. Okay, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna do the arm piece first. So we'll inhale to stretch the arms out in front. Then we'll sweep the left arm underneath the right, taking any of those hand positions that you've been working on. It might feel like there's more space now that we practice it so many times. You can decide. Then we'll bring the feet slightly closer together, but you can still have some space. Inhaling to lift the hands away from the body. And then exhaling to sit back into your chair legs. So now you have chair pose legs and eagle pose arms. And then we're going to shift the weight into the right foot. You could just stay here, or if you like, gather your strength. You're going to lift that left leg over top of the right leg. Maybe the left toes find the mat on the other side of the right foot, like a little kickstand. That's great. If you have a lot of space in your outer hip, maybe you sink down a little more and that left toes can wrap around that right ankle. So the left toes are now off the ground. Not necessary. Wherever you are, think about lifting the torso back over the hips a little bit and lifting the arms up. Yes. One more full breath. You're doing so great, y'all. And then on the next inhale, push into that right foot. Release your arms, release your legs, maybe fly a little bit. And then exhale everything to the earth. You can shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Beautiful, beautiful work. We just have one more side to go. Okay. So we'll reset the feet. So you're kind of at narrow hip width distance here at the feet. Of course, wider is always fine too. Just a little easier to come into the balance if the feet are slightly closer together to start. And then we'll inhale the arms parallel to the earth. This time, the right arm will go underneath the left arm. Assume whichever palm position you prefer. Remember always that we could, if the shoulders are getting tired, you can always do the hug. It's fine. Wherever you are, taking a full breath to move the hands away from the body. And then exhale to sink the legs back into your chair. So now you're in, again, chair legs and eagle arms. Then if you're going further, you'll shift the weight into your left foot. Inhale to lift the right leg up and over the left. Either making a kickstand with your right toes on the outside of the left foot, or maybe sinking a little lower into the bend in the hip so that you can fall like me. You can hook your right toes around your left calf. Wherever you are now, working to sit the torso back so that the shoulders are coming over the hip. And bringing the hands away from the face. Yes. Great work. One more full breath.
Yeah, Susie, good adjustment. And then on the inhale, sweeping the arms out, release, exhale to the earth. Yes, Angela, beautiful control out of there, really nice. Okay, heading back to the earth, the last little piece here. Swimming the arms out and up on the inhale. And then exhale, release your hands towards the earth. Getting good purchase with the hands. This time we all will step one knee down, then the other knee down. Kicking the toes together and the knees out wide. Starting to walk the hands forward, coming towards your child's pose. If that does not feel comfortable, you can come down onto the forearms, hook the palms together, and kind of be in this little bit of a resting pose this way. Maybe even resting your head down on your hands. Or any other pose that feels more comfortable to you is fine. Just allowing the breath to slow down, the mind to slow down. Realizing what you just did with your own perseverance in your own body and on your mat. And just imagine what you could do out in the world. One or two last breaths here. And then starting very gently on the inhale to make your way back towards your hands and knees. Then just scooting the feet to one side and the hips to the other so you can come to sitting. And then we'll bring the legs in front and we'll take Baddha Konasana legs, so butterfly legs, having the soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. If you find yourself in this position, it feels very hard to get the sitting bones to connect to the ground. You can always sit up on something. You want to have the knees moving comfortably towards the earth. So inhale the spine tall, and then exhale to start to hinge forward at your hips. You can use your hands to help you either on the mat or maybe on your feet or on something else. Well, once you run out of room in the spine, in the low spine, keeping that piece long, then on your exhale, you can start to soften through the head and the neck, allowing the head to fall down towards the feet. But still aim to keep the lower spine long so that there's an even curve in the spine here. Smooth, steady breathing. And gently inhaling your way back up. And starting to use your hands to help push your knees back up towards the ceiling. And then allowing the legs to reach out long, shake them out a little bit here. So we're almost towards the end. We'll do either a twist lying on your back, or you can stay seated if lying on your back is not feeling comfortable right now. If you are staying seated, you can assume any easy cross-legged position with your legs. It doesn't have to be the butterfly legs. If you're going down towards your spine, you can get there any way you like, maybe rolling down or scooping down through the spine. If you are on your back, you'll bend both knees to face the ceiling. Maybe taking the arms wide might feel nice after all that closed movement here. So you'll stay with this, and then you'll allow the knees to drop to the left. Maybe your head will look to the right. If you want to do it in sitting, then you will inhale both arms up towards the sky. And then you'll turn your torso towards the right. Left hand will find your right knee, and right hand will find the mat behind you. Maybe your right, I was going to say your right ear. Nope. Maybe you want to look out over your right shoulder. I don't think your ear wants to look at your shoulder. Maybe it does. Wherever you are, holding smooth and steady, whether you're on your back or seated. And then on the inhale, if you're on your back, nose and knees now face the ceiling. If you're sitting, both arms reach up to the sky. And then on the exhale, you'll switch positions. If you're on your back, your knees go to the right, you'll look to the left. If you're sitting, you'll turn to the left. Right hand will find your left knee, left hand finds the mat. Maybe looking out over that left shoulder, but you don't need to. You can keep your neck neutral. Breathing smooth and steady, just letting go of any tension for one more breath. On the inhale, if you're sitting, sweep the arms back up to the sky. If you're on your back, nose and knees face the ceiling. And then arms down if they're lifted on the exhale. And then making your way towards your final shape. If you're on your back, maybe you want to draw your knees into your chest for a moment and rock back and forth on your way to extended. And then you can decide if you'd like to take a seated shavasana, you could do that. Or you can always just curl onto your side. It looks like you might be going that way. And maybe even putting like a pillow in between your knees can feel really nice for that. And any other shape that you prefer is fine too. Allowing yourselves a moment to really settle in here. Giving us a couple moments to rest, to synthesize the practice. The Shavasana is a very important part of practice. It's much more than just lying down, although there's nothing wrong with lying down. But it's a way to pull all of the elements of the practice together and let it integrate into the body and into the nervous system. So I will allow my voice to be quiet for a few moments, and then I'll call us up together. And the clock has won a little bit this evening. So if you are really happy and content where you are and you'd like to stay, please stay. If you are ready to come back, you'll start with small movements at your edges, fingers and toes, gradually making those movements larger and closer to your center. for those of you not already on your side, you'll make your way there, pausing for a moment to let your systems catch up with you. And if you're coming up, gently pushing your way towards a comfortable seat. Maybe still with the eyes closed or a soft gaze, keeping the attention internal for one moment more. And finding some place that makes sense for your hands to land, either on your thighs in your lap, or maybe folded at your chest. One hand on your heart, the other on top, or something else entirely too. Just taking these few last breaths together to know that you are capable of focused, steady attention and perseverance, and that it will be at the ready when we need it. Thank you all so much for spending some time with each other, sharing your practice together, sharing with me. I wish you a wonderful evening. Namaste.